One Mario series that hasn't gained a lot of popularity lately is Dr. Mario. So, I'm gonna fix that by ranking every single Dr. Mario game. I'm pretty sure you all get the idea by now. It's gonna be good replaying all these old Dr. Mario games. Also, real quick, I'm not including Smash Bros. And I know that Dr. Mario is a character in Smash Bros. Even though that's true, it doesn't count. But I know somebody's going to be in the comments being like, oh, what about Dr. Mario was in Smash Bros.? What about that? So, I'm just saying, I'm not including that. All right, let's get into it. 11. Dr. Mario World. Well, Nintendo really went all out with the microtransactions in this game. They made it so hard to be like Candy Crush that it just came off as a horrible game. You only get a limited number of turns every day, or you could pay for it. You only get a number of loot boxes every day, or you could pay for it. And you could get duplicate characters unless, guess what, you paid for it. Nintendo really just tried to make Dr. Mario Candy Crush, and it is awful. Of all the games, why did they have to ruin it with Dr. Mario? Because of this game, Nintendo hasn't made a brand new Dr. Mario because this game hasn't been selling well because no one is willing to pay for all of this garbage. Nintendo, just make a new Dr. Mario game that has everything, okay? I guarantee it will sell so much. 10. Dr. Mario and Puzzle League. You may be thinking, Landon, what are you talking about? This is just normal Dr. Mario, but there's Puzzle League, the graphics are spruced up, and there's better animations. Well, yeah, that may be the case, but the ear-grating sound makes it horrible. Just listen. I'm sorry, Nintendo. Do you want us to blow our eardrums out? And also, take a listen to the title screen music. It is way worse. Oh my god, it makes me want to tear off my own ears. And you may be thinking, well, at least it comes with Puzzle League. Hopefully not in that voice. Well, yeah, it does come with Puzzle League, and this is just personal opinion. I never really got the hang of Puzzle League, and I'm not really good at it, so I'm not the biggest fan. So that means absolutely nothing to me. This game is okay for Dr. Mario standards, but it just makes you not want to play it because of the awful sound quality. I mean, sure, it's Game Boy Advance, but it's awful even for that. 9. Dr. Mario Game Boy. Now, you may be wondering why this is so low on the list, or maybe you're not wondering that. But, yeah, in this footage, it might be a bit easier to play, but if you're playing the original Dr. Mario on an original Game Boy, it could be near impossible to see what the viruses are. Plus, the little ball-shaped pills are the same exact size as the viruses, so it could be hard to tell what's a virus and what's a pill. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still good, harmless, simple Dr. Mario fun, but again, if you're playing it on an original Game Boy, it could be a bit weird and hard to play. And the colors can be hard to see at times too. With the very dimly lit Game Boy screen, it's hard to tell the black between the dotted ones, I guess you would call it. The white is easier to spot. It's not a bad Dr. Mario in the slightest, it's just held back by the Game Boy's limitations. 8. Dr. Wario. Bet you didn't think I'd include this one, did you? This is unlocked by beating WarioWare Inc.'s main campaign on the Game Boy Advance, and it's pretty much just Dr. Mario, except everything is WarioWare themed. And I have some complaints. The music is really off, and I'm not sure if it's because everything is WarioWare themed and Wario is he's the type of person to have off music like in Wario Land, or it's just compressed because of the Game Boy Advance. The viruses look really weird. They were probably trying to be different, but I don't know why they look so weird. They honestly look kind of cute-ish, except for the yellow one. He's super ugly. And let's be honest, you do not want Wario being your doctor. 7. Dr. Mario Express. This is as simple as Dr. Mario can get without playing the original. This was released on the DSiWare shop app, and it's the perfect DSiWare game. All DSiWare games were meant to be cheap and easy to pick up and play right from the get-go, and Dr. Mario is just that. The reason I have it so low, though, is, well, you only have 2 ways to play this. One, the DSi, which you can't really do that anymore since the DSiWare shop shut down. And 2 is the 3DS, and the 3DS eShop is shutting down in a few weeks, which is really upsetting. And if you're watching this after March 21st, I think it is, then yeah, no luck for you unless you have a homebrewed 3DS. So it's a good Dr. Mario game, and the graphics are good, the remix music is great, but it is going to be really hard to play soon. 6. Dr. Mario Online RX. Wow, what a title. This is actually a pretty fruitful Dr. Mario game. You could play as your Mii, you could play some standard Dr. Mario, plus it's on the big screen. You could play online, which sadly you can't anymore. Why, Nintendo? Why do you do this to us? And there's a new mode called Virus Buster, which is basically a way better version of Dr. Mario World. You could actually use the Wii remote pointer, which could feel a bit weird sometimes, but I've gotten used to it. Now, I have this game kind of low on the list, I'd say more in the middle, for 2 main reasons. 1, the name of the game is Dr. Mario Online, okay? You can't play online anymore, though, sadly. It's not like you could patch the game because there's no physical release, which is really disappointing. Speaking of no physical release, you can't play this game anymore. It was originally a WiiWare exclusive, and since the Wii Shop channel got shut down, the only other way to play this is if you have a homebrewed Wii like mine, and you manage to add the Wii Shop channel files onto it. I'm not going to go through that whole process, but yeah, the 2 main focuses, it being a Dr. Mario on the big screen and it having online, you can't even do anymore. And the only other way to play this game is on the Wii, unfortunately. Now, it's not that bad of a game. It's very fun, but if you could actually play the game, then it would be a heck of a lot higher on this list. 5. Dr. Mario NES. Now, you may be thinking, this is as basic as Dr. Mario could get, Landon. Why do you have this so high on the list? Well, 1 is the creative idea. Dr. Mario is obviously a Tetris clone, there's no doubt about that. But Nintendo managed to make it so unique that some people could even see past the fact that it's just a Tetris clone and see that it's actually a really unique puzzle game. The idea of matching up pills in order to clear viruses is pretty interesting. And 2, you could play this game pretty much anywhere. It's not like Dr. Mario Express or Dr. Mario Online RX where you can't play those games, or it's not like the other games on this list where, yeah, they might be on some platforms, but overall, they're pretty hard to come by. No, this game on NES is cheap. You could play it on the Wii, the 3DS, the Switch, any NES emulator, which is, they're pretty common, there's a ton of them. Yeah, this game you could play anywhere, and if you're not using an emulator, which is good, you could play this legitly on pretty much any Nintendo console that has a virtual store. I forgot about the eShop. Yeah, you could play it on the eShop, and it's just so interesting that Nintendo managed to make this big, interesting puzzle game, and yet, when you mention Dr. Mario, the thing that people will think of first is the original NES version. And obviously there's a reason why. It's a great Dr. Mario game. 4. Tetris and Dr. Mario. This is basically just Dr. Mario with a few slight differences, and they're good differences too. One, the 16-bit sprite art looks gorgeous. I know the smaller versions of the viruses look pretty much the same, but the up-close versions of the viruses look super well done. They look really shiny, too. And also, all the clipboards and stuff, they all look great, and I guess the cup thing holding the viruses and stuff, it looks like a real glass, like you could see through it. It looks like it was just cut in half. Nintendo really didn't need to go through all this effort just to make Dr. Mario of all games look good, and yet they did. Oh yeah, and also, let's not forget, this game is bundled in with Tetris, one of the best puzzle games out there. 3. Dr. Luigi. As Dr. Mario games go, this one is actually often overlooked, and I don't really know why. I personally thought it was a ton of fun. The main game mode of the entire game is called Operation L, and it was made because this game was actually made during the whole Year of Luigi thing that Nintendo went through. Operation L has you putting L-shaped pills, which I don't know why Luigi doesn't even take the pills out of the wrapper when he's giving them to his patients. That's a little weird, Luigi, but, you know, it's whatever. I think this game mode is awesome. It is really fun and addicting. Then there's also this retro game mode, which is just classic Dr. Mario. And, of course, they brought back Virus Buster, but it's a lot better because it's touchscreen based instead of motion-controlled based. Well, Wii Pointer based, I guess. But, yeah, Dr. Luigi is a pretty interesting game, and Operation L, I know a lot of people aren't super fond over this game mode, but if you just tried it, believe me, you'll enjoy it. It is really neat and really unique, too. 2. Dr. Mario 64. You know, for a console that was so bent on showcasing their new 3D graphics, you would not expect Dr. Mario to be made for this console, but anyways, it's still an awesome Dr. Mario game nonetheless. I finally played this game on the Nintendo Switch N64 online app, and let me tell you, it is fantastic. You got a pretty in-depth story mode where Mario is going around curing everybody because he's the best doctor around, but Wario wants to get a hold of his Mega Vitamins so that he could sell them and become rich. Greedy old Wario. So, you have to go around curing everybody of their sicknesses while also trying to stop Wario, and it's pretty lengthy too. You'll get about 5 hours out of it, which isn't terrible, even for a puzzle game. You would not expect that from a Dr. Mario game of all things. Plus, you still have your classic Dr. Mario, score attack, and you could verse a computer player. Plus, you could play as other characters like Mario, Dr. Mario in his metal form, Wario, Vampire Wario for some reason, and also you could play as some critters that you'll meet along the way. It pretty much has it all. So, which Dr. Mario game could be at number 1? Well, the one at the number 1 spot pretty much has every Dr. Mario on this list combined, and that is 1. Dr. Mario Miracle Cure. This is the ultimate Dr. Mario game. First off, you obviously have your classic Dr. Mario, and the music sounds great. The controls are super fluid, and the sprite art is gorgeous. Then, you have a brand new mode called Miracle Cure, which is classic Dr. Mario, and you get power-ups, like a bomb that will wipe any virus in its vicinity off the screen, it is so cool. Then you got Operation L, which they brought back from Dr. Luigi, and it's as good as ever. And they brought back Virus Buster, and again, it's touchscreen, and you hold the 3DS vertically, which is super creative. Or horizontally, whatever. They have a story mode now with hundreds of creative levels, so you will never, ever get bored of this game. This is basically every Dr. Mario in one single game, and I love it. The online is seamless. Well, it was seamless until people actually stopped playing this game. And of course, we cannot forget that the computer battles are really tough and challenging, so you will never find beating a computer player easy. Now, there is one big problem, and it's the only big problem. This game is on the 3DS. And the 3DS eShop is shutting down right, like, in a few weeks, like I mentioned before. So, you need to pick this game up. For all the content that's in it, you must think this game is worth like 20 or 30 bucks. But no, it's worth $9. With all this stuff, how could you not get bored of this game? And how could you not think that it's worth it with all this stuff crammed into it and the cheap price? You have to go and buy this right now before the eShop closes. I'm serious. If you have a 3DS, get up. Go right now. Come on. Go. Move it. Move it. Come on. Let's go. Go buy this game. Well, that was a neat video to make. It was fun replaying all of these Dr. Mario games and seeing which ones were the best and which were the worst. Be sure to check out my other socials, my podcast, The Gaming News with Landon, now wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check out my second channel, Super Lando Plays 2, and of course, check out my brand new TikTok at super_Lando Plays. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have an awesome day.